to the Pets channel. So today I am talking about a very sensitive subject, and that is PCOS. If you don't know what PCOS is, stay tuned and we will be getting into it. So some of you may or may not know, I was diagnosed with PCOS, which is also known as polycystic ovarian syndrome, in 2016, and it's something that's quite private and quite unique, but I felt that it was high time I spoke about this subject, because I am believing God that I have been healed from it, and let me not say, you know what, let me say I have been healed from it, and I suffered from it for a very long time. So I wanted to share my testimony, share my experience, and as much as it is something that I wanted to keep to myself, I felt moved to share this and just encourage someone out there that you can go through it. This is not going to be a one video, because there are a lot more things that I am keen to share with you guys, my experience in terms of dealing with some of the symptoms and signs of PCOS. So basically, just to give you guys a little bit of a background on what PCOS is, I've got my phone over here so I can give you guys information about it. So basically, polycystic ovarian syndrome is a set of symptoms due to elevated androgens, which is basically male hormones in females. And the signs and symptoms of PCOS include irregular or no periods, heavy periods, excessive body and facial hair, acne, pelvic pain, difficulty getting pregnant, and patches of thick, darker, velvety skin. There are other really serious symptoms, but these are the common and main ones. And I actually started experiencing one of the symptoms of PCOS in 2011. If you have known me all my life, or you have known me for a majority of my life, you will know that I always had full hair, or I was known as being naturally hairy, which I was okay with because it wasn't anything outside the norm. I know, my dad's got a lot of hair, my mom's got a lot of hair, so I just thought, I didn't really think anything of it. Hairy legs, hairy arms, that was just normal to me, and I seriously to this day do not understand when people shave their arms, because that is just normal to me. So I didn't really pay much attention to it until 2011. My hair started shedding excessively. I will also delve in later videos on how you can know when something is wrong with you or with your hair, from understanding the basics and the fundamentals of your hair structure. I will be going into details about that. But anyways, with that said, I started noticing significant shedding in June 2011, and I remember I spoke to my sister about it, and then I spoke to my boyfriend, my husband, now husband, about it at that time, and they didn't really notice because they just thought, I had more hair than the average person anyway, so you shouldn't really be complaining. But I knew something was wrong. Come to I think August, September, that's when I started noticing some bald patches in my head, and my hair was significantly thinner and finer. At that time, I was trying all the remedies that I know, using sulfate 8, using wild hair growth oil, I used Jennifer, I can't remember what the name is. It was an oil, a hair growth oil at that time. I used hair fertilizer. I was literally using anything and everything I know, but it was not working. So I knew something was definitely wrong. I went to 3 doctors who really absolutely did not help at all. But then at the same time, I am grateful because that is how I ended up developing the Peps Repairing Hair Growth Serum, because I could not get any medical help at all. The first doctor I went to, first doctor I went to, he just basically said to me, you are a teenager that's just concerned about your looks. He just kind of looked at me like, girl, bye. That was literally how he looked at me. And this is like a local GP. So yeah, that was that. I moved on from that situation. So I decided, you know what? I need to see a female doctor because she's going to understand how important a woman's crown is to her. And if you are a Christian, you will be aware, and this is what this product is based on, which is 1 Corinthians chapter 11 verse 15, which says, the woman's hair has been given to her as her covering. It is her crown of glory. So I felt that maybe a woman would understand how hair plays a part on a woman's esteem. And you know, it wasn't like now where you can say, even if you're experiencing hair loss, hair breakage, you can just kind of ignore it because you can put on a lace frontal or anything like that. My hair literally meant everything to me. If there was anything that I felt like was an important feature of me, it was my hair at that time. I would actually say that the experience of hair loss was very humbling, or you know, a way to show me that there are more things to life than just concentrating on hair, or rather that Christ was more important than my hair. That's how much I idolized my hair. I remember, like, let's say if I do something wrong, like I would pray and be like, this sounds very silly, but this is my truth. I would literally pray and say to God, like, God, you know, forgive me. If you forgive me, you know, keep my hair. And I always felt like if I, you know, the day I start losing my hair will be the day that I know that God is punishing me, because I kind of saw myself like as a Samson. I know it sounds so ridiculous talking about it, but my hair was literally my crown of glory, and it is what the Bible says, but there is a clear difference with understanding. And also, you know, sometimes we do things in the name of Christ when it's not really Christ focused. So yeah, that was that. So after seeing that doctor, she just basically said, the lady doctor, I thought she would understand. She just basically told me, like, you know, girl, your hair is not going to be the same way it was when you were 10 years old. So get over it. Pretty much that's what she said to me. And yeah, I ended up having to just kind of give up. But the shedding obviously continued until November. I went to a doctor and I was just like, you know what, you guys need to run some blood tests because something is clearly not normal with me. Because prior to that, about a year or two ago, I had been under gynecology for a couple of weeks actually, because I had experienced extremely painful, irregular periods, to the point that, like, sometimes I'd be bed bound when it came to period pain. That's how it was. Even if you know me, like, you know, my sister will know this because that's my family, and my mom obviously. But when I had period pain, I could not work, I could not go. It has to legit be a day off because that's how bad it was. And painkillers wouldn't do anything for me. So yeah, that's how bad the situation was. But I thank God that, yeah, that's not the case anymore. That's not the case anymore. I do still have times, like, you know, prior to my period, I would experience period pain, but I have been given a spirit of endurance that, you know, it's, let me not say spirit of endurance, because it's nowhere near as bad as it was back then. So the REN test, they came back and they were normal. So yeah, as I've mentioned, that's when I developed this product, and I thank God because it worked. It worked amazingly well. My shedding drastically reduced, breakage drastically reduced, because I literally had to start again. That's how bad a shape my hair was. And some of you guys will never know, because I used to protective style like there was no tomorrow. If you know me, I used to wig it like no man's business. I literally did every color under the sun: pink, white, green, blue, lilac. If you know me, you will know I was pretty out there with my hairstyles and my protective styling. However, there would be times, like let's say if I stop the product, or you know, if I just really want to be extra about it, I would still notice shedding. That's when I seriously started taking into account the importance of praying for your hair, and also just kind of really saying, you know what, God, enough is enough. It so happened again, like I said, I had suffered from some of the symptoms. Oily skin, yeah, I still have a little bit of oily nose, but it's nowhere near as bad as it was. Acne, I was actually on acne medicine during my teenage years, my late teenage years. That's how bad my skin was. The last medication I remember was a topical antibiotic called Dalacin T topical lotion. I also used, what's it called, Clandy something, but that was just too aggressive, so I stopped that. And yeah, I got to a point where I was like, you know what, I can't rely on this thing forever. It was messing up my skin as well, and I just thought, to be on an antibiotic for life surely cannot be healthy. So yeah, these are some of the symptoms that I dealt with. But by God's grace, it's like everything that has happened with regards to PCOS has been for God to show His glory. Sorry, my memory card said it was full. I was saying that, as you guys may know, I launched my soaps last year, which is 2017, and look at my skin. I used to wear makeup full time. If you went to church with me in Leicester, or you knew me, or I did your hair at some point, you will know I never ever like went anywhere without makeup. I would literally wear a full face every single time. And you know, it's one of the things that I applaud myself now, sitting here talking to the world and sharing my skin. Obviously I still do my lips, because yeah, a girl's gotta look, you know, like she's made an effort. But yeah, I never went anywhere without makeup. That's how bad my self-esteem was. And if you've looked at my videos on my lock journey and self-esteem, my lock journey has taught me so much. Going back to basics has taught me so much. Trusting in God has taught me so much. And I am not only a testimony spiritually, but physically, my skin, my hair, look at my locks. You guys, I have not experienced shedding in the capacity I experienced it with. I know, like with locks, you're not going to experience, you know, a shedding as you did when you were a loose natural. But I know people who've got thin locks. I've got small locks, and I've not had lock thinning or any. And I'm just like, look at God. So I just wanted to make this video to encourage someone that you are perfect and God can heal you. There is nothing that is too difficult for you. You know, I recently started getting regular periods, which was something that was not happening before, and something happened to me that was really tragic. If you watch my video in December or the start of January, you will know I had a really serious experience, which I will explain later on in another video. But it's like, when I look at it, or when I really want to see God's glory, I can see it, because everything that happens it happens when you do decide to trust God and leave it in God's hand. He does use it for His glory. I suffer from facial hair. It might not pick up well on the camera, but I will try and take a snapshot so that you guys can see close up what really is going on with me. And I am grateful to have, you know, it's not that we put our confidence in people, but when you are married or when you choose to be with somebody, you do not want somebody that, you know, weighs you down or makes you feel some sort of way about things that you cannot change. So sometimes I don't get, like, let's say when people say, oh, look at your nose, or things that you can't do anything about it. You literally can't do anything about it. And yeah, I was saying, I just want to thank God. I'm so grateful for my husband, because we have been together for a very, very long time. And during that time, he has been with me up and down through my emotions, especially dealing with this PCOS and dealing with excess facial hair. Sometimes I just, you know, wake up and I tell him how down I am, or I just explain to him, you know, like I've booked a laser hair removal on Monday next week. So yeah, that's what's happening. And it's just beautiful to have someone who just literally reassures you that you are perfect the way that you are, and always, you know, makes me accept that I am still Christ designed, especially in a world now where plastic surgery is readily available or cosmetic changes are readily available, and you want to change this and fix that. And it's beautiful to know that I do not have to look a certain way or be a certain way for me to be accepted or to feel any less. So I walk around and yeah, not to, you know, actually no, I am gonna say this because body confidence is important, and feeling good as a woman is very, very important. So I never, even when I'm around women with perfect skin or anything like that, I do not feel any less of a woman. And you know, I am grateful for the confidence that God has given me, especially dealing with PCOS. I'm grateful for my husband, who doesn't make me feel any less of how I am. I remember back in the day, one time it actually made me laugh because I was crying about you know, like, why do I have so much hair, you know, and he was just like, you know, some of us are actually trying to be big, gang, and you've got it for free. And it made me laugh so much because I have spoken to guys who have said before, you know, like, I would never be with a woman that was hairy, or, you know, my woman has to be on point, she has to shave, she has to do that. And I am glad that I am with someone where I don't have to feel those social pressures. And generally speaking, if you have PCOS, talk to God about it. Let's share together. Feel free to contact me, and I will be making more videos on this as well, because I want to share my experience on how I dealt with shedding, or even the basic things like shaving my face. how I get rid of hair that I don't really want to see without getting ingrown hairs, because if you shave your face, you will know that this is real. I thought I was immune from it, but there are certain tools that I just don't mess with, because yeah, I will end up with bumps and facial bumps, ingrown and stuff like that. So I will be sharing all of that, and irregular periods, just those things. And I do hope that this does not come cringy to you guys, but I definitely believe that somebody is going to be helped by this video, because I used to search PCOS videos like it's nothing, and there is not that many of them, especially for women of color. So I just wanted to share with you guys, and yeah, I hope I will see you guys in my next video. Until then, take care and God bless. Bye.